What's up, good people, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I am your host, Comedian 96, along with Freddie G, K Money, and Slash. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men, and welcome to Black Friday. Before we get into our topic for today, I need everybody that's on YouTube to go out and subscribe. Click on the like button. If you're on Twitter, follow us at 52 Scott Podcast, and on IG and Facebook at the 52 Scott Podcast. All right, what's up, people, and welcome back to Black Friday. Today's topic, we're going to go into black authors and poets. You may or may not know. You may know them. So with that, let's go over this list. And in addition, if y'all know of any artists, local or unknown, that I may have missed, please feel free. I have 8 here I want to go over. And after that, y'all think of somebody, give them a shout out. So let's get into it. First one of my favorites. All right. This is the one. And I'll give y'all a hint before I say her name. My favorite quote from her is, "If someone shows you who they are, believe them."
Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou.
The way you said it, we knew.
You knew, right? You know, right? I remember that.
That was a decent imitation.
You like that?
It was decent.
I've been practicing on that. I had to get it in. I'm sorry. But Maya was one of the most prolific writers of our time. A storied career spanned over several decades and included the publications of everything from poetry and essays to several autobiographies, including the 1969 "I Know Why the Birdcage Sings." Y'all remember that back in the day? Yeah. I was in acting. We did all that little plays. But she was a deeply personal and highly successful book. It was in which chronicled Angelou's experience of rape, identity, and racism as a young girl in the South. So, anyone of y'all read that book before? I've done the play, but I just didn't.
No, I hadn't read the book.
You haven't read the book. I didn't read the book. I was young, so we just did plays and plays and plays. And one day you do a play, now you got another play. You got to read this book. So I can't read the whole book. I only can read the portion of the play. So I never. Now looking at it, now that I'm seeing what it's about, I will go back and read. This is be one of my reads that I will add to my edition. So.
When was the last time you read a book?
Huh? Oh, I read the Bible every day. That's the only book I really read, like, every day, like the only book. Okay. Now, my black fact, I don't want to give up the goods. Someone on this panel gave me a book, and that's my black fact. But so a couple of y'all gave me a book, so y'all don't know what I'm talking about.
A couple of y'all gave me a book.
Yeah, it gave me books.
Okay.
You gave me books to read. So everybody, we all read on the panel. We have to now, especially doing our sets. We have to do a lot of reading. The more meaning behind Maya Angelou's, you remember the poem "Still I Rise"? Yeah, that was the one. That's the one there's always a commercial. Someone's always doing the "Still I Rise," and I think that's the most powerful one.
I agree. Very powerful message.
Mm-hmm. That was a really. Mm-hmm. She also had the. I didn't know she did something in 2005 with Winfrey's Harpo Productions. And the movie, a version of "Their Eyes Were Watching God." I didn't know.
I can remember just a little bit vaguely of something like that. With Maya Angelou and Oprah.
Yeah, it was with Michael Halle Berry, Michael Ealy, and Terrence Howard. I gotta go watch it.
Yeah, I think. What was the name of it again?
Their Eyes Were Watching God.
Yeah,
I vaguely remember.
Yeah, That's some great actresses too.
Yeah. That's why I say I vaguely remember it, because I remember, her being a part of something. With Oprah.
That's deep. I'm gonna go watch that. That's a good watch. So our next one here, I might be pronouncing this wrong, so if I got it wrong, if you fellas can help me out, let me know. Chinua Achebe. And y'all probably know this movie, Things Fall Apart.
I heard of
That's with 50 Cent.
Now, I thought that was Denzel's Things Fall Apart. With
Where am I getting 50 Cent? Where he was like had
when he had cancer.
cancer.
That's not that.
Things.
Or is it All Things Fall?
Oh, that was All Things Fall Apart. Yeah, but this one is yeah. I'm so sorry, y'all. I skipped right over. Okay, here we go. So yeah, it was Things Fall Apart, and it has sold out an estimated of 20 million copies, and has been translated into more than 50 languages since its release.
This is a book.
Yes.
Yeah, it was published. It says in 1958.
1958.
Wow,
Yeah.
that definitely wasn't the 50 Cent.
Yeah. Yeah, no. It was that old school. That was when Denzel, when that little boy came outside, he was like, "Daddy, you don't act like you gonna love me." He was like, "Boy, I put food in your clothes, man."
Oh, Viola Davis was in the movie.
Yeah, Viola Davis.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
you
not
talking
all
about
things.
Fences.
That's Fences. That's not Fences.
That
That's
is-
Fences. I mean, that is
yeah.
Fences. I'm sorry. Things Fall Apart is another one with. Who's in that Things Fall Apart? I've seen that movie. I'm getting the movies all mixed up, y'all. I'm
Yeah,
so
you
sorry.
are.
Oh, forgive me, listeners. So I'm gonna go on to the next one because I don't know. Before I get myself in trouble, I'm so sorry, Miss Chinua Achebe. I'm so sorry. We're gonna move on to Langston Hughes. I know a lot about Langston.
Yeah. He was one of the first black authors that I learned about
Langston
as a child.
Hughes?
You know what I'm
As-
saying? Langston Hughes.
Yeah, Langston Hughes.
He's written books, you know. So yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, but that's Langston. As though I learned a lot about poetry, more poetry
Right.
than books.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he even wrote books. I just thought he was.
Well,
like,
did he have books? He didn't have books. Maybe I could be.
No, he had books. He had.
Was it books of poetry?
That's the question, huh?
That's a good question. And you know what, y'all? His best known works was from 1965, the autobiography of Malcolm X. So that's what you were best known him for. Was it a book or was that just a movie? Do y'all know if that was a book? But he says an author, best known author.
Yeah, he had books, millions of books. You know, well, no, he didn't have millions of books.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, he had books, biography, facts,
Yeah. But to me, he sounded like he was more of a
poetry
powerful
foundation, though.
poetry. He was more poetic than book writing.
But no, because he was a Harlem Renaissance writer, a poet and a Harlem Renaissance writer. Wrote poems, novels, and plays. Celebrated black culture and history.
So he did it all.
He did it all.
So would he be considered? Now I don't think Tyler Perry wrote books, but he has wrote plays. Would he be considered a Tyler Perry of his day? What y'all think? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, look, he did poetry.
If you put it like that.
I hate to say it because
Yeah,
we did
he was the
right
Tyler
now.
Perry back then.
Back
He was
then.
he was Tyler Perry back then.
Yeah, because
Langston Hughes.
Langston Hughes.
Yeah.
See, I got something right.
But I knew he wrote stories because I can remember him being a known author from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Langston Hughes.
Exactly.
I-
Formed as
his name.
formed as a Harlem Renaissance poet, novelist, and playwright. Hughes published the first novel, Not Without Laughter. Now I've never heard of that book.
Me either.
In the 1930s, earning
1930s.
Yeah, 1930s, earning great success,
I
great
don't know
commercial
about
success.
that.
Huh?
How did he have any later?
Oh yeah. Let me see. They have so much. He has one, as well as one of his most famous poems. He has another poem, "A Dream Deferred."
I remember that one.
Remember Dream Deferred in
Yeah.
1951.
We actually studied that in a class.
Yeah.
I want to say it was probably an English class, of course.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
A Dream Deferred.
Yeah, that was a book. That's a book that I know we read in school.
All right, y'all. So for this next one, this one surprised me. I know that she did a lot of work. I know that, when during the time she was in the White House with, Barack Obama, I didn't know that she wrote a book. Did y'all know that? Michelle Obama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wrote a book. I know a couple of people that actually bought the book.
Was that Becoming, right?
I think that was the name of it.
Mm-hmm. And, the sales number went high, although it was only released in November 2018. The first-time author, and that's why I didn't know the first-time author, and the former First Lady's memoir, Becoming, that's what it's called, Becoming, has already made history. So, I didn't know that. Do y'all know if it's thick? Now, not the cut. It's thick. It's thin.
It's not no thick dictionary type. It's a
Right.
encyclopedia, nice size, maybe 300 pages.
300 pages.
Roughly.
Okay.
It's
All
not
right.
It's about like that.
All right. That's a nice size book. Now, I knew somebody that came out with a book and it was under 100 pages. And I wasn't sure, and they were talking about it. It went viral for like a week, so it was a book they just came out with. Everybody was excited. It was under 100 pages. I can't remember who it was, but that's what I was asking. But you said no, it was thick, 300, so it's not her. All right, our next one here is Toni Morrison. Anybody have heard of Toni Morrison?
Ain't that a singer?
Well, they won both the Pulitzer Prize and the American Book Award for her novel. I'm so sorry. Beloved. Beloved was her novel, which holds the harrowing story of a formerly enslaved person forming the Civil War after writing the 1987 release, which was also adapted into a 1998 film starring Oprah Winfrey. And this is and Danny Glover. I didn't read most of stuff because we would be here all night. But I've noticed there's a trend in most of these books. Danny Glover and Oprah Winfrey, they always got their hands in it. And Danny, reason why Oprah, everybody know him. Everybody knows her. But Danny Glover, we know him from the movies back in the day, Lethal Weapon. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, Color Purple
Right.
as well.
Yeah,
Well,
Color
Oprah
Purple
started-
too.
they
Right.
both- yeah.
So, but after that, if you're not really watching all the stuff that he does, if you're not really paying attention to stuff that he donates to, and the causes that he going to Africa to help, you gotta really be reading to know that man's still working, even though you don't see him in Lethal Weapon no more. So that was just shout out to Danny Glover. I'm sorry, I had to stop and say that because you see Oprah, you see her work, but you don't see Danny's work. But I see it. So I see you, Danny. I see you out there. I already said that part. So with Danny Glover and Toni Morrison, they went on to earn a 1993 Nobel Prize in Literature for her 1997 book, Song of Solomon. Wasn't that a movie?
Song.
The show's not over. The show's not.
That was my phone.
Oh, I thought that was a movie, Song of Solomon, because they make a lot of Bible.
Possible. It's possible.
Yeah,
it
I'm not
was.
gonna look it up afterwards. Additionally, titles like her first novel in 1970, The Bluest Eye. Oh yeah, this lady's been working. She's been working.
And who was this?
Her name's Toni, Toni Morrison.
Morrison. Okay.
Yeah, she's put in a lot of work. So shout out to Toni Morrison. Everybody, I think we've already talked about this person, another her, Alice Walker.
Familiar with her name.
Yeah. It's also adapted into a 1985 film starring Oprah Winfrey and Danny Glover.
And she's a poet too,
Yeah.
or she?
No,
or is
yeah.
she just a author.
She's an author. Looks like she's just an author. I don't see anything about poetry. She did the color. She had part of the Color Purple as well. We just talked about that.
Books, she did
Uh-huh.
books too, so she is an author.
Yeah, I didn't know it was directed by Steven Spielberg. Did y'all know that?
What, Color
I
Purple?
did.
I did.
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
So Alice Walker did short stories too and poems.
Well,
So that's what I just asked.
I'm looking. I don't
What you
see
do?
my thing does not say anything about she. I mean,
Yeah.
she has a Pulitzer Prize, 1930s said book, which also spawned a Broadway stage adaptation. Talks about her stage plays, but I don't have anything about poems on.
They say the Color Purple was her biggest thing.
That's the biggest. Yeah, I have that. That's the Color Purple. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yep.
she the truth. I tell you that.
Yep. Now, my next one, this is one of my favorites, and this guy, one of my famous quotes from him, and at first I didn't understand it, and it wasn't until I got older now that I understand it. To be black and angry in America is to be aware. Anybody want to take a guess who that is?
I heard that quote before.
Lawrence Fishburne.
To be black
Nah,
and angry in America.
What's
It's
that?
to be aware.
What's that guy's name? I've heard that quote before.
Yeah, you getting close. I see it in your eye. I tell you what, I help
That's
you out.
Denzel, huh?
Huh?
Denzel.
No, this is
No, man, I've heard that quote. I want to say last
it's close.
name-
I mean, he has the personality of it, but it's not him. But I'll give you a guess. It's
Is his last name Anderson?
go to the next letter. B.
Man, I'm stuck. I remember. I've heard that quote before though.
Baldwin. James
Oh,
Baldwin.
James
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard of James
Yeah.
Baldwin.
There's
He's a good
videos of that.
Yeah. Uh-huh. He has a lot. The Fire Next Time, Another Country. These are different books. Notes of a Native Son. I mean, he has a plethora. But to me, I
Poems,
like
too.
his poems too. I like his quotes, and that's one of the quotes that I really, really, really liked. Because, like I said, if you're young, you don't. It's like, what you mean? Why am I always angry? But as you grow, it's like it's not that you're. To me, it's not that you're angry. It's you're more frustrated, which comes off as anger. That's what I say. So I would personally change that part to frustrated instead of anger. Just for me. Just my opinion. The Harlem-born writer who was highly adapted at tackling issues of race, sexuality, and spirituality had several of his pieces adapted for the big screen. Among the 2016 Academy Award Best Documentary Featuring nominee, I Am Not Your Negro. I haven't seen that. Y'all seen it?
Nope.
No.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does. I want to check it out. I want to check that out. So, the next one. Everybody know this one. Terry McMillan,
Yeah.
Waiting to Exhale.
Okay.
Yeah, you better know Terry. Terry McMillan, breakout female-centric third novel that she published in 1992, spent several months on the New York Times bestseller list, and by 1995 sold more than 3 million copies, the same year as the movie came out, basically. So that was money just coming in from the book and from the movie, because that movie did pretty good, and that was one hell of a.
That was a good movie, and she had a good soundtrack to it.
The whole soundtrack.
Yeah.
I know this is not Music Monday, but I gotta get y'all this off topic. I'm gonna put a pin in it. Off topic, not Music Monday, but between that soundtrack and what's the one Eddie Murphy and them played in?
Boomerang?
Boomerang.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who do you pick? Oof.
Definitely
Waiting
not
to
the
Hell.
Boomerang.
Waiting to
to
Exhale.
Exhale would be it. I mean,
What with Johnny
I don't
Gill?
know. I think I'm gonna roll with Boomerang.
That's what y'all better listen to that Boomerang
yeah,
soundtrack
I know the
again.
heard-
jazz,
I've
but I
heard.
just
My
like
Funny
the-
Man. Well, you know what? That's so crazy. My Funny Valentine was on both of those soundtracks. Because it's on both Boomerang and it's on both. That's crazy. But
Wow.
go listen to the Boomerang soundtrack. You might change your mind. I'm telling you, because Johnny Gill, he has a bunch of jams on there.
Yeah, I've heard it. That's what There You Go is on.
Yeah. Mhm.
I've heard it.
Yeah. So with that, y'all, we got off. I would have just got deep into this one. So my black fact you can't take back. It's kind of a shout out to Freddie G. Freddie G he gave me his book. I said, let me borrow it. This is in 2008. He said, let me borrow it. Okay, it's 2024. And I had said I had a fire in 2019, so I thought it had got burnt up. But I was packing the stuff. And I seen it. I said, that's what made me do this show today. I was like, God, I got his book right here, man. Let me get his boy this back. But our black fact is Sister Soldier. So you guys know the book that she wrote, Freddie G.
The coldest one ever.
Yeah. And she had a part 2 that just came out last year, March 2023. I hadn't read that one. But I know the book cover is yellow. That's all I know. Yellow and some other colors. But Sister Soldier, if you didn't know, she was also hip hop.
Yeah, I remember her from the hip hop days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Sister Soldier.
The hip hop generation's best-selling author, activist, recording artist, and film producer, is one of the most powerful and meaningful persons speaking to the youth and students today. That's why she's not rapping. So if we hadn't seen her, she working behind, just like Danny Glover, working behind the scene. We ain't seen her, but this is what she's doing. And I've always wondered, I was like, man, that girl could rap. What happened? Her intelligence is unselfish. She shines as she offers cultural, spiritual, and political, economical, practical analysis and constructive solutions with the precision of a surgeon. Soldier's words, thoughts, lessons, and books are transforming the next generation. Once you have heard her speak, it's impossible for you to remain the same. You will change the way you think, the way you love, and the way you speak. Shout out to Sister Soldier. This concludes our show for Black Friday. And if you haven't done so already, follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast. Also on Facebook and Instagram at the 52 Scott Podcast. Also, like and subscribe if you haven't done so on YouTube.